Hi, and welcome to this series on data structures and algorithms. So, whether you're starting out or you are looking to just refresh your knowledge on these topics, you're in the right place. And over the course of this series, we're going to break down essential topics into short and easy to understand videos so that you can absorb the content without feeling overwhelmed. And today we're going to answer a very simple question, which is what are data structures, and to an extent, why should you care about data structures? So, starting with data structures, think of a data structure as a container that holds your data in a way that makes it easier to understand. Then you can be able to manipulate and manage that data. Basically, somewhere you can store your data, and you also want to have a container that easily suits that best suits the kind of data that you're dealing with. So it be you're a teacher and you have data about your students, and you want it to be in a manageable in a structure where you can easily manage it, easily access it, and such kind of thing. So an example of a data structure is an array, and an array basically stores data in a simple list. And what we have here is an example of an array, and this is an array of numbers from 1 up to 9. And we're going to be looking into more details on arrays and the types of arrays, or how you can represent data in an array. And you're not restricted to only integers, as you can see here. We're going to see how you can even get to floating point values, how you can represent strings and such kind of data, and even array of arrays. But that's for in a later video. And we also have a linked list, and a linked list basically stores data in nodes that are connected by pointers. So what we have here is an example of a linked list, where, as you can see, this is what we refer to as a singly linked list. And a singly linked list basically has data and a pointer to the next node. And this is basically what we're representing here. Now, how would I'm going to look into more details on this later as well. But how you refer to this? The first element in a linked list, we refer to it as the head, and the last element here we refer to it as the tail. We're going to be looking into more details on this. Now, there are some other common data structures. They're not only restricted to arrays and linked list, but some of these other common data structures are like stacks and queues. And stacks basically follow this pattern that we call it the LIFO pattern. That is the last in, first out principle. And we also have queues, which operate like waiting lines. So queues follow the FIFO pattern, that is fast in fast out pattern. Now, each of these structures has its own use cases depending on how you need to organize and interact with data. That's why in the beginning I mentioned that when you are dealing with data structures, depending on the kind of data that you're trying to represent, there's a data structure that best suits that kind of data that you're going to represent. Now, an example of where you can use some of these data structures, for example, an array. An array, you can use it to store a simple list of items. Let's say you have a grocery list that you want to store there. And for linked lists, again, like you mentioned on linked lists, we have nodes. We have nodes here, and these nodes are connected to the next to each other with a pointer. And these are useful when you basically want to frequently insert and delete items. We're going to see into more details on some of these use cases. When you're dealing with a stack, think of this in like a book. So you have like a stack of books, and this is where you can basically remove and add the top book. So that's sort of what a stack looks like, and we're going to see also some of the use cases on this. And for a queue, as it mentions here, we're dealing with waiting lines. So think of, let's say you're queuing at a bank. The person who is on the front of the queue is the one who's going to be served first, and on that order until the last person. So the FIFO pattern. But that's it basically about what data structures are. And in terms of why you should care about data structures, there are some simple things. For example, if you want to manage large amounts of data efficiently, there's a way that you can pick some of those things when you want to deal with optimizations as well. So think of, let's say you're creating a delivery application and you want to save on time and some other things. So there's a way that you need to represent that. But we're going to be looking into more details on some of these data structures and how we can apply them. So thank you, and I'm going to see you on the next one.